ready?
Yeah,
I think. You ready?
Yes.
Let's forget the names of these characters right about now.
Right now. Oh.
Hello and welcome to episode 91 of Jobless Weebs. I'm Marco, the Bureau Mexican, and with me today,
Brian.
nice, like every other week so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah, that's right.
How are you, Brian?
Doing pretty good. I had a great week. I bought Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, so I'm really pumped to play that tonight. So yeah, I'm going to be getting a few more shrines, so it's pretty awesome. Yep.
I've never
I love
really
it.
played any Zelda games,
Oh yeah.
like to their completion, just like a little
Yeah.
bit, because I've never had a Nintendo console
Ah, right.
with me.
Yeah.
Whenever people is like, oh yeah, Zelda, it's like yay!
Right,
But it's
right.
like I have no idea
Yeah.
what you're talking about. But
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's incredible. This one is, of course, another like sequel to. It's a sequel to Breath of the Wild, but it is pretty different. So yeah, I'm really excited.
are they all
to see it.
connected though?
They are. Yeah.
Okay.
They all are connected. I kind of understand from like the whole series is that Link as the hero is kind of like an embodiment of a different Link every single game.
Okay.
However that actually like goes and stuff, but yeah, it's pretty cool, and they're all interconnected, but sometimes on different timelines, depending on which game you're looking at. So we'll see how this one goes. Because freaking Ganondorf. I don't know, but
Is he always the main villain?
he's
or-
like almost always there. I think there are only a couple of ones that he's not really present. But yeah, this one I have a sneaky suspicion that yeah, he's there. We're still around.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just amazed with how Nintendo always is like, oh, you have
Yeah.
your hero and your bad guy, and that never changes.
No, yeah.
Even if the game changes, like with Mario and Bowser, for example.
Ooh, yeah.
It's like, oh, like how many Mario games are there? It's like, I don't know. We stopped counting as well. But hey,
Yeah.
we have a new game, and guess who's the bad guy?
Yeah. Exactly.
But I mean, if it ain't broken, why fix it? So
Oh, yeah.
you can just say like, oh yeah, just different timeline,
Mhm.
different universe.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, when Marvel started playing with multiverse, Nintendo had already destroyed a few universes already.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
Oh gosh.
It's good to
It's
hear that.
incredible. Yeah.
But I
How have
mean-
you been though?
I was actually hoping that you would skip the question, but
Oh really? I
no,
am that.
it was one of those weeks.
Yeah.
I got a new challenge to work. A great learning opportunity though, because I did learn a lot. But I was not on the best, environment, or like the environment that I would have liked to learn those things.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite ideal for me, but it's like I have to do it because I'm constrained with time and this and that, and so
Mhm.
yeah, definitely I see a lot of things that I could do differently in
Mhm.
like similar projects coming my way. But
Mhm.
yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I really like doing this because it's new, it's great how I'm like learning and applying things. But it was like, but I just wanna hide myself into a hole and cry there.
Oh no. It's really sad. Oh my.
And also didn't help the
Dude.
fact that I finished some heavy animes recently, and I was like,
Oh yeah.
oh boy, this is just ruining my mood.
Yeah. Oh gosh dang.
I mean, the anime we're talking about, it's one of them, and it's like,
Yeah.
it was a great anime. Don't get me wrong.
It's a good one.
It's
Even with all the hard hitters of like killing and terrorism and stuff like that, there are good elements to it. Yeah.
yeah, it's not like, oh, it's beautiful. there are
Right.
these many deaths. It's like, no, that's not the beautiful part. I just think that it's a great story.
Yeah. Yeah.
And despite being 11 episodes,
Mhm.
it developed characters and the story, and it closed the story really good. But again, it's not exactly my cup of tea. So whenever I watch those type of like heavy action or like with lots of blood or death or whatever, it's like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I need to inject myself with my dose of love life and the trinity of wholesomeness, because it's like, yeah, those are the ones keeping me afloat and
Yes.
for not doing something stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, because that anime was like great story, but it's like bad idea watching it right now. But nonetheless, we're gonna talk about it because it's a great anime,
Yes.
and it's called Inuyashiki. And I think they just added something more in English. That was The Last Hero.
That's right. The Last Hero. Yeah. Which is you kind of see sometimes, but not a whole lot.
And I'm pretty sure it was adapted to its entirety. It's originally a manga that ran from 2014 to 2017. There are like 10 volumes or so. So
Okay.
I think that all of it was. I mean, I haven't read the manga. Probably they skip a few parts because
Oh sure.
at times the anime does seem kind of rush.
Yeah. There are a couple times it did feel like that.
But it was a great anime because it had pretty much two main characters.
Mhm.
And the name of one of those main characters, it's Mr. Inuyashiki.
Yep.
And
The Oji-chan, the
the
grandpa.
Jisan, yeah.
The Jisan.
And
Yep. Yep.
and the other, his name is Hiro
Shishigami.
Shishigami.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think I have any general comments. Do you have any general comments before we just start from the start?
Oh,
the
yeah,
beginning?
yeah. Well, I would say just the overall feeling of this anime is like. Oh, no, actually, I do have a specific comment. The opening song, so cool. Such a banger.
Yeah, it's Man with a
really
Mission.
loved it. Yep.
Those are the same guys that are doing the Demon Slayer openings for this current season right now.
Okay.
And they have done quite some other for action animes. So it's like,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah. It's,
Oh, and
it's
the anime,
incredible.
it's
So good.
MAPPA. It's produced by MAPPA.
Produced
So
by Mappa. Yeah, Mappa, they deliver it really well.
when it's about fights, MAPPA,
Ooh, yeah.
MAPPA delivers some really good ones. So at the beginning, we have one of our main protagonists, Mr. Inuyashiki. He's a 50-year-old guy that clearly doesn't look
58.
58 years old
Yeah.
guy that clearly doesn't look like 58.
Yeah, he has white hair. He has like a lot of wrinkles and stuff, and he has like a very interesting
Like the double chin.
Yeah, he has a double chin, and he's like really puffy and stuff. So, and
He looks like
he
70
stoops
something.
over. Yeah, he really does. Like
He's like, when I see him, like,
76 or
I
something.
kind of
Yeah.
see my grandpa who
Yeah,
is
yeah,
like
yeah.
who's like 80 something already. Like, I think my
Right.
grandpa is like 85.
Ah.
And it's like, yeah, Mr. Inuyashiki looks like that.
Mhm, mhm.
And it's nothing really stands out from him.
Yeah, nothing whatsoever. And the beginning, the beginning was really odd too, because it starts with a zoomed in shot of an ant, which I thought that was really, really, I'm not sure, like insignificant kind of a thing. And then of course we zoom out, we see them, and they're moving to a new house, and we see some other people with him, and we find out they're his family.
Yeah.
And it's like in
he's-
your mind, it's like, you serious? Like,
yeah,
but like only because of how he looks like 70 something.
yeah, like
and-
his daughter is like
Uh-huh.
17 or so,
Yeah.
like 16, 17.
Yeah.
And
And they have a
his
son,
son is
too.
like some in middle school, so like
Yeah.
like 14.
And his wife, she looks like, I don't know, middle-aged.
Yeah,
Maybe just a
old,
little older.
but not that
in the middle.
old.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
And
it's
the thing that surprised me
oh,
were
so
like
funny.
there, his family is just a bunch of jerks with him. Because they're like,
I know, right?
Because they're like, why are we
Dude.
moving?
Yeah.
And then they see like a freaking huge house, and it's like,
Yeah.
not bad,
Mansion.
Dad. It's like, actually, that's not our house. It's just,
our house.
just like a small house. It's
and it's behind the other house. Oh my god!
and it's like,
that was.
well, yeah, I should have expected that from you, Dad. And it's like, you freaking brats.
Yeah, they have like no respect for him. They don't really even like him. Is the feeling that I got.
Yeah.
Remember also when the daughter brought home her friend.
Oh
and
yeah.
She was like,
oh, it's my grandpa.
It's my grandpa.
Like,
it's like, oh, how could you? What the heck? So yeah, it's like it's a really weird and kind of messed up.
He rescues a dog, even, and the family is like, why a dog? He's like, no, we're not keeping it here. Keep it at your room. And it's like, wait.
Dude.
He's married? Like, and sleeping on separate? I mean, to each their own, I guess. But
right. They all have their separate rooms. Yeah. The dad.
Yeah.
Him
that's one of the parts, like,
that's
when you are watching the anime, you just like, just know, there's like, yeah, this family, they don't appreciate what this guy does. Because it was that on the first episode that he sees like his health report and he has to do some checkups.
Yeah.
And he gets bad news that he has like terminal stage cancer.
Yeah.
And he's like
3 months to live.
Okay, like we're not even 15 minutes in the anime and this is already messed up.
So, oh my gosh, like as the audience, we were totally thrown for a loop. And then when he gets back, he gets cowed by his wife, so he doesn't even say anything. Like he doesn't.
No, I mean he tried to call his family, and it was like,
oh yeah, and they didn't pick up.
Ignore him.
That's right.
Like,
both of his children.
Like, shouldn't you pick that up? It was like, oh, it's my dad. No worries. It's like,
dude. Yeah,
I want to do that.
Clearly,
like my parents would slap me with the chancla already.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, and it's. And I kind of viewed it as like the rebellious phase, but also kind of more than that, where they aren't even like interacting with him. They don't even want anything to do with him. So he's pretty down. The only thing on the side really is the dog, and they have a great relationship. But poor guy.
Hanako? Yeah, Hanako.
Oh yes,
Hanako.
Right? Yeah. So he's about to die. His family doesn't even like him. He's down in the dumps. He has a house, which is great, but like his life is kind of
but I mean,
downhill.
You can say like, oh well, at least you have health, because it's like, no, you're technically dying.
Yeah, poor guy.
So like he decides to take Hanako for a walk, and I don't know, because do you think that he was trying to, like, end things?
So, I don't know, like, I almost got the feeling that he was despairing maybe to that point. I don't think he had any plans, though. That's the only thing. But he was, like, super emotional at that time. He starts running away from Hanako, so it's like, what is he doing? He ends up at a park, and that's where he like hugs the dog again. But I don't know, like if he had continued that way, I think he may have. Maybe. Yeah,
because it's in that moment where pretty much the story kicks off. Because you're like, oh well, your life is pretty bad.
Yeah. And like, and he has 3 months to live. Like, and I don't think he really wanted to like. Well, I think he got to the point where he is thinking that he can't really fix anything either. So it's like.
I mean, because it was cancer, so it's like there's
It's
nothing
it.
you can do when it's
Yeah.
terminal. You're like, yeah.
Yeah.
What else is there? I was like, no. Okay. So during his emotional moment in the park, he sees a guy that is just standing there, a young man.
Mhm.
And from there,
Just staring off to the side.
yeah, from there, like, kind of like something falls.
Yeah.
The dog goes away running, just like barking and stuff. And
this is where
Yeah,
crap hits the fan.
yeah, we
This
get
is
some weird sequences.
psychedelic thing. This part I remember vividly. They're both looking and nothing's there, but suddenly the scene starts warping, like the view itself, like the trees and stuff. Reality warps, and then we see basically a spaceship materialize in front of them. But it doesn't stop there. It basically crash lands on top of this grassy area, and we don't see a thing like after that.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
That
So
was the weirdest
psychedelic.
part of the anime, because he's like,
Yeah.
what was that? I don't know. It was like, I need answers. Like, nope.
No answer.
Nope. It's
Yeah.
like, that's not
like,
part
that's-
of, like, that's not important. Ignore
Yeah.
it. It's like, that seemed pretty important.
Yeah, like like I kind of now want to read the manga just to see what the heck even like happens from the source material, because this is literally all we get. Apparently aliens exist
Yeah,
from this one moment. Yeah,
pretty much.
that's all we
'Cause-
find out.
Because he wakes up,
Mhm.
I think he's shirtless or something. But I mean, it was morning. And
Yeah.
again, like, his freaking family was like, you weren't even here. I didn't notice. It's like, oh my gosh. But he wakes up and is like, oh, my back doesn't hurt anymore. He goes again back to the hospital. And
Yes.
like the x-rays is like, there's nothing in there.
Yeah. In the sense that the X-ray shows just like white.
Yeah. I mean,
For his
as if
body.
you were like putting an x-ray into like an iron plate.
Yeah.
It's like-
exactly.
It's just white.
Just
And they're like, oh,
yeah.
the machine must have been broken. So he's like, okay, I'm dying, and now what's this? So
that was such a weird part.
He doesn't even eat. He's just like, oh, I just want water.
Mhm.
And then in one interaction that he has with Hanako, he just like freaking opens like a mechanic arm and throws up from his arm.
And it's a freaking gun, and just like, oh, that was just the
That was so
gross
gross,
part.
yeah.
It was like, is that what I ate the other day? It's like, oh my gosh, yeah, like really weird stuff. We as the audience, oh yeah. Also, don't we see the whole thing where he freaks out entirely? His head opens
Yeah,
up
that's pretty much the end of the first
yeah.
episode. Because after that,
Yeah,
he freaks out
yeah.
and he's like, "What's this?" And he touches
Yeah.
it, like everything open, and he's like, "What the heck is happening?" Because it looks freaky.
oh, it's really
The animation
abnormal.
and character design overall, it's not made to look cute.
Right, and I was gonna mention that too, because like the wife and him, they're like yeah, like non-appealing whatsoever.
Yeah,
Not
they
even in
don't
a
look
normal
really
way.
anime-ish, if you know what I mean.
Right, exactly, yeah. So we're like, and the audience, we're also in the know that he died when the spaceship basically crashed into him and the other guy. They both died, and then the thing that I picked up on was that they said, oh, just like they said something about like restoring them. I'm not sure the exact wording anymore, but then they said, oh, the only things that are available now are the weapon units. And it's like, go ahead. And so like, we're like, so they're weapon units from this alien thing, but he has like the memory and the looks of this old guy.
Yeah, and he's a machine because he even
totally machine.
tries to cry, and he's like, "No, I'm a machine." He's like, I cannot do this anymore. And this is like the important thing that you as the audience like have to pick up. It's like, okay, he is not himself. He is pretty much a copy with the memories.
He really is,
with memories and the personality. Of that. But you don't see the consequences of that personality, of how they develop in this weapon unit. Until in the second episode, where he's back in the park, he's like, oh, there was a dude right there, so what happened to me maybe happened to him. I'm gonna look for him. And she's like, okay, it's freaking Tokyo, so it's like the chances of you finding him, good luck. But it's like, I don't know, my image of Japanese people is like they're just so nice. But Japanese in this anime are just so full of garbage.
Dude, yeah, I know, right? I know, like almost everybody. Yeah. Except for, well, I don't know, like even Watanabe, the girl who had a crush on Hiro, like she was probably the only like, I don't know, like she still liked Hiro. So I don't know if that still makes her a bad girl. So yeah, you're right. It's like they're garbage. Like
because it's like well, he's trying to figure out again his emotions, if he has any, because he convinced himself that he's a machine. So he's like, do I have emotions? Am I human? Like, am I alive, or am I just something with the face of the old me? There's this group of kids that start just harassing a homeless guy with fireworks. He's like, what? Okay.
We're
not gonna touch about that.
Yeah, this is a terrible thing.
And Inuyashiki is like, hey, like, leave, and one of them just straight like hits him in the head with a bat, and is like, is he dead? I told you not to hit him in the head. It's like, dude, you guys are so messed up.
Dude, yeah, because they wanted to prolong. Like,
in that way, I would respect, like, you know, a Shinji answer is like, oh, did we kill him? Crap, let's go. But no, they just started like laughing, and it's like, okay, it's like
they're utter garbage. Yeah, this group of kids. And that's when his head opens up. Yeah. Well, not that it opens up like the other time.
There's
but
like
the little
like a camera.
Yeah, the little camera pops out of his head, and then like targets them.
Yeah, the camera has like face recognition. It's like, okay, I've been recording this.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna access to your social media accounts, and I'm gonna post all of these. It's like, you guys are done. Like, you guys are so done.
Your lives are gonna get crashing down. I thought that was pretty incredible. Which it also like. So not only does he stop them in his unconscious state by like shooting beams of light out, the
beams of light are with the Yakuza ones.
Oh yes, that's right. I thought he also shoots out the lights.
Oh, but around that's right. Yeah, he doesn't hit them
in the park. Yeah. But oh my gosh, the Yakuza one. Oh my gosh.
I mean, we're also gonna cover that one.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, we will. And then I thought it was interesting that this guy, with of course the memories of this old of course himself. But this machine basically accesses like the internet, a modern tool of networking and stuff, to like get revenge or socially, destroying them. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. It was like incorporating not only this alien technology, but with like modern type.
And if you notice, it was also part of his personality, because he was not the type of person to,
to hurt,
to hurt, like physically. He was more of like, and since he's like old,
Yeah.
or like from an older generation, it was
Yeah.
more like, hey, like your standing in society, it's important.
Right.
And if you don't have a standing in society, like you don't have anything. So that's also why one of the reasons of like, okay, I'm gonna kill you socially.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. I also
Because we
yeah.
have the antithesis that we're gonna cover
yes.
right after this.
Yeah.
Because he wakes up
Mhm.
and the homeless guy is like, oh, I have a job that I'm gonna start and I'm gonna make my wife happy. And he's like, yeah,
You saved
you do that.
me.
And he's like, you saved me. And he's like, I'm alive.
Right.
He's like, I'm human. I'm still human.
Uh-huh.
And with that, you're like, okay,
Right.
he saved one person. That's
Right.
nice.
Mm-hmm.
A few chapters later, we see that he is helping people in his own way.
Mm-hmm.
Like the most kind of like messed
Sure.
up ones that helps is like a girl that was kidnapped by a yakuza who was like, oh, I like this girl, so I'm gonna drug her and make her mine. And it's like,
pretty messed up.
okay.
Right.
And you know, the funniest thing with that part, after pretty much he makes all those yakuza blind, because he never killed them.
He hardly.
I don't know
kills
what's
them.
worst. Kill him a bunch of yakuza or crippling them.
Dude, yeah, like when I don't know, like when he was, it was so freaky to me because when he had when he was shooting the beams of light out, I was like, what on earth is he doing? Because I noticed it was hitting their eyes, but then later, yeah, they're totally blinded. And when also, I also noticed he was hitting like, I think it was like their necks or something.
Yeah,
it paralyzed them.
Yeah, like paralyzed them.
Yeah,
like blinding them. It is like
such a crazy thing, and it was his way of like, of course, stopping them.
I was like, yeah, you're gonna pay. And like the funniest
you'll
thing,
you'll never hurt anybody else. Oh my gosh.
The funniest thing of that
So
part, or
crazy.
I found it like a bit ironic, because you know, like the yakuza one was like, oh, I always get what I want, and like he was kidnapping and killing to his heart content. But when he was left crippled, he was like, oh, old man, are you still there? Why did I ever did to you? And it's like, dude.
Right.
He's like, dude, seriously. It's like,
yeah, that's true, because he would indiscriminately just take whatever he wants.
I mean,
but
this anime is like
very
the embodiment of like, oh, well, infinitism, the consequences of my own actions.
Yes, yeah.
For all the characters, because Inuyashiki, he gets the consequences of his own actions when he's doing good, and what I guess sometimes there's like a bad connotation to like consequences, because we always think that consequences is something bad. Yeah,
the negative or getting something that's like, it doesn't feel good.
Yeah,
to get the consequences. But yeah, for him, when he saves people or like helps people in the way that he thinks would help people, by either like saving them from the yakuza or going to hospitals, he feels like he's alive. So he has that positive affirmation.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
And now we can just kind of like make the transition, because
here we go.
While on one hand we have Mr. Inuyashiki, that he is super slowly and also kind of like from an older generation that it's not really adept to new technologies per se.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I can fly. He was like, not that good at it.
But now
He's like, oh, I can cure people. I can cure animals from their illness.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, I'm super strong. I'm indestructible pretty much, because bullet shots, they don't crap to me.
Yeah. So yeah,
he's like slowly learning like how to do things in this new body. While on the other hand, we'll have the antithesis of him, which the freaking guy, it's the straight up OP protagonist in an isekai world.
He really is, because Hiro Shishigami, he is like this great looking guy. He's in school and whatnot, but when he gets like these powers and stuff, he knows how to use them.
Yeah.
Like we don't even see his growth of like learning stuff. He just like knows.
Yeah, you
which
just
is
see him
generational, probably.
and he's visiting his friend who's getting bullied, and he's like, "Hey, dude,
Yeah,
got you. Like, I'm gonna protect you.
yeah,
So like, come back to school." And then like, he just starts showing him like, "Hey, look, I can do this," and like he starts putting some adult content on like a bunch of
TVs at
TVs.
stores. Yep,
Starts controlling cars, making
Yep.
them collide with each other.
and he does the
Oh,
finger gun.
he
with-
got the
with
little
crow.
finger gun, which is
my
like, oh, I'm gonna shoot the gun. It's like, bang, and the crows go away. It's like, magic trick. It's not gonna escape. Bang. It's like, that was magic, right? Like, I'm not him. I was like, I'm not Hiro anymore. And he reveals himself, and it's like,
Yeah,
okay, like, while Mr. Inuyashiki was doing everything like in secrecy,
yeah.
Hiro was
Yeah.
like, hey, look,
He just
He's like-
shows off and like
of course, not to
Totally.
everyone, but
right, but yeah, which is fascinating because this friend, and I'm not sure. Do you think they were like hanging out beforehand?
they were, yeah.
They were? Okay. Oh, yeah. Because we see them just hanging out, reading manga.
Yeah.
And that's like their pastime that they do. Yeah, it was really weird, this part, because he just keeps saying like, hey, you should come back to school, and I can take care of the bullies for you.
Yeah.
And he even goes as far as saying like, hey, I could like kill them for you.
Yeah, and
It's
it's
like, okay. So
Okay,
so
it's
we
like-
know he knows like how to do stuff already.
yeah, I mean, you can say to a friend, like,
Mhm.
I will die for you, I will kill for you, but it's just like,
Yeah,
okay,
or
he's a
I'll
really
fight
good
with
friend.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when a friend that can literally do that says that, he's like, okay, you're scaring me a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, oh my gosh, like I was like, yeah, he could actually do that. Careful, dude. Careful.
Yeah, because he's
Yeah.
scared as well. He's like,
Yeah.
if I make you mad, will you do that to me? He's like, no, you're my
gosh.
good friend,
Oh gosh.
aren't you?
Oh, no. Oh, dude.
Yeah, because
Well-
that also like kind of gave me the chills every time that he was
does.
like, "Hey, I'm the same guy that
Mhm.
you have known."
Mhm.
He's like, "Haven't changed,"
Yeah.
and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, because you see like a piece of his life, and he's just like, I mean,
Oh.
his parents are divorced, but like he has a great relationship with his dad and his new
Yeah.
family. Like he seems like a popular guy.
Yeah.
And like he seems like a regular hot guy.
Yeah. All the girls.
Yeah, he seems
have the
popular.
hots for him. Yeah.
He seems to be like smart.
Mhm.
Or, like, and then just like as we see him taking off from his from his father's house, he just like goes to a house. He's like, oh, okay, he got home.
Yeah.
He's like,
Opens
hey,
the door,
because he
goes
says like
in.
"tadaima" and
Dude.
and the
Okay.
mother is like, "okaeri," and they're like,
Okaeri.
"Who are you?" Bang. He's like,
Yeah.
"What?"
What the heck? What the crap? Because, yeah, this part is so out of left field. It just is so off the rocker.
For a second, I thought like, "Oh, did he just killed his mom?"
Really? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Yeah, it's so messed up. But then, well, yeah, like it was really weird because it just seemed normal for him. But yeah, we realize when they're talking that they're perfect strangers, or at least that's
Yeah,
what she
Pretty-
basically
he was just like
infers.
breaking into a stranger's house,
Yeah,
and for no reason. I was like,
yeah. Just
there was
straight
no
up.
connection whatsoever. He was like,
And he uses the finger gun again too. And it's so
yeah, that part was really, really graphic.
It is. Especially with the dad and the kid.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah,
that was like
I'm kind of glad that I was watching that like in bright day, because it's like
broad daylight. Yeah.
Like watching this at night, it was like, no, I would have had nightmares.
Yeah. And it doesn't even end there either. When he comes down, or somewhere around after, taking out the dad and the son, he finds out that there's another person coming to the house, and it's apparently the daughter of this family. And
yeah,
this is where it gets really creepy.
Yeah, she sees the bloodbath. And then she sees him, and he's like, "Hey, so bang!" And it's like,
she's like, "Oh no, like, don't kill me."
Hey, do you like anime, or like, do you like manga? It's like, yeah. Huh? Which one do you read? He's like, what do you read? He's like, just casual. He's like,
yeah, it's super casual.
He's like, oh, Attack on Titan and One Piece and
he's like, One Piece.
He's like,
who's your favorite character?
Who you like the most? He's like,
dude, and
what the freak is happening?
Dude, yeah,
because she's like, I mean, as one should,
right?
She's freaking scared, and he's like, yeah. He's like, focus. We're talking about One Piece here. He's like,
right. And it's so weird because, of course, she's dealing with the trauma of seeing her family dead, and she's like, are my dad and my other sibling dead too? And he's like, no, focus. Oh man, that was so creepy for me.
It was really heavy.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
probably we should have said this at the beginning.
Yeah.
But beware.
Oh yes, yeah.
This is definitely not a PG-13 anime. This is like this is an R-rated.
Sure.
If animes had rating.
Yeah. And this it's really, really weird because he, like, Hiro Shishigami, he likes certain things. He has a friend, but he explains that if it's not any of his friends or his own family, then he doesn't care.
Yeah, he lacks the apathy for human life.
Yeah.
In general.
And with this scene, like, in my mind, I'm like, man, he took it to the extreme.
He did.
Like, yeah, you could like not like people. You could like not talk to people if they're not your friends.
Yeah. I mean, it's normal for a person who's like, oh, I don't like people.
Right.
He's like, we've been there. He's like, yeah, we don't like people either.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure we all feel that way at times.
But not to that point, exactly.
He takes it to the extreme, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna kill you because it doesn't matter. So
no, I mean, not even I'm gonna kill you. He's just like, oh,
right.
It's like shooting them is just as easy as stepping on an insect.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Which is also the weird part, because we get a flashback from him of when he was still in middle school and he saw a person jumping towards a train, and he was like, oh, everyone was freaking out, and I was just looking there and felt nothing, and then we see the exact same reaction that Inuyashiki had, just on the opposite side, that instead of saving people, like he feels the rush of being alive when he takes people's lives.
Yeah. So it's totally like yin yang. They're totally opposite, that nothing else makes them feel alive unless they either save or, for Shishigami, kill it. I
mean, and he had a tiny bit of conscience left, because it was, I don't remember if it was around episode 4 or 5, when we see like Shishigami's mom, that now police is starting to get like, there's someone like killing people in their homes.
Yeah.
And her mom is like, oh, like,
yeah.
those are terrible parents.
When they're watching TV together.
That raised that guy. And he's like, what if it was me? And it's like, well, I would die with you. And it's like, oh, crap. Because, I mean, we're going back to, like, this very Japanese type of behavior of honor.
Yeah.
And also, you know, whatever, the reputation of the family, whatever the son goes wrong, it's like, it's the parents' fault.
Yeah.
And so he's like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna kill anymore for my mom.
That's right. And that's where
and then
he decides. But then, of course,
and then he's like, oh, if it is the consequences of my own actions,
right?
Which
gosh dang.
I found weird how they found him, because I don't think his friend was a snitch.
Oh, right. Yeah, you know, when I was watching it, I didn't pick up anywhere.
Because, I mean, his friend, of course, didn't approve of his methods of dealing with people that he didn't like or care.
Right.
But I don't think he was a snitch.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And I'm saying, like, a snitch is a bad thing. It's like, I'm just saying, like, he was probably too scared to tell the police that he was the perpetrator.
Well, at least in the perspective of the anime itself.
That's right.
We don't see any reports or eyewitnesses, really. I mean, of course, somebody, or maybe cameras, would have had at least gotten glimpses of him.
Well, yeah.
But we never really see.
Kind of like in the neighborhood kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe in the neighborhood.
That would make sense.
Yeah, possibly from that. But yeah, we never really get confirmation of where the police got the tip. But the police, they do basically know that it's him. So yeah, they basically rush his house.
Yeah,
and
they raid the place.
They raid the place. Yeah, they literally raid it. And like, of course, the mom is there, but they all like focus on Hiro Shishigami. He runs away. But he, like, I don't think he really wants to, like, take ownership, of course, of like what he's. I mean, of course, it's the death sentence. But that he would be looking at. Yeah,
he's aware of the punishment, but he is he's just like...
pretty sure he would think
I mean, by this time, and I don't quite remember his body count, but at this time in the anime, it was more than 15 or 15 at least, if I remember correctly.
For the home killings, So he runs away.
For the home killings.
Yeah. So, oh my gosh. So this is where it gets a little really dark. And I was really sad about this because he runs away. I'm not sure where he really meets Watanabe. I think it is around here.
Yeah, it was around that time.
It is. Yeah.
Before they raid his house.
Oh, yeah.
Because the girl confessed to him and he's like, thank you. And he
oh yeah, he always says this thank you. It's a part of like Han Solo saying, "I know," for this Leia. Oh my gosh. I mean, oh thank you.
She was not even friend zoned; she was thank you zoned.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So like she has a crush on him. She confesses, and so like. They meet up when he runs away from home. They kind of think he's just a runaway, which he kind of is.
I mean, she's in denial because she's like, oh, I hope they catch the killer soon.
That's true, yeah. Like, without even talking with him, she assumes. And then this is when it gets dark where the mom... we see her in, like... on the TV, in the reports and stuff.
Apologizing,
and saying like, basically apologizing. But then later we find out that she commits suicide. And that's
that part
when,
was so dark. It was so intense.
And this is
I
when
like the
all
animation
goes
of
off the
that.
rails.
Because I like the animation
What
of that, of all that process of after her mom like takes her life, up to the point where he decides to be a changed man. Because it's like, okay, her mom took her life, and everyone on the internet was like, ha 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 ha. It's like,
dude,
people was being garbage, and it's like,
dude.
Are you sure you want to laugh at
serial killers?
Yeah.
Family situation, right?
Like, are you sure? Like, dude, that's another moment. It's like, oh, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions,
yeah,
because it's like reporters are like crowding at his father's house, and he arrives.
Oh yeah,
he must like just bang, all of them,
and then
he starts looking in social media and all the threads of people like, I gave his picture and home address to the police. Ha 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 ha! I'm so funny. I'm a hero. So he starts just locating all of them and killing them and uploading their videos, and everyone is like, oh, I'm really scared. Ha 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 ha! Like if he's gonna find me, he's like, everyone's dead now. It's like.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that episode, it was really, really creepy and really, really like, whoa. Like, yeah, like, I don't even know what it's similar to, like other anime, but was really messed up.
That sequence made Chainsaw Man look like a little kid's show. Because you are already expecting that type of development from Chainsaw Man, for example.
Yeah, right.
But from this one, it's like, oh.
Because it's so in this sequence, what's happening is that he's basically contacting them over phones. Or
because it's like a 4chan or like 2chan, I think they call it, but it was like, you know.
And then when he's like face to face with them, he does the bang thing, but it somehow kills them from like, we don't even know, like, he just kills them somehow without even being close.
Yeah, so, it's like if they're holding Samsungs, because it's like instead of exploding, they just get shot.
and it's like bullets, but the anime establishes it's not like bullets, because no bullets are left, of course.
But it feels like a bullet.
But it feels like a bullet, yeah. Oh man, I blinked on the next thing. It's not only him like killing them and bumping them off, it's that fear that he can kill them without putting like effort into it. It's like the next step of this serial killing. And so like the school is all abuzz and
everything's chaos. And it's like, I mean, you guys saw it coming. It's like, that's clearly like, it's like play stupid games with stupid prizes. Like, you don't laugh at a killer situation. It's
like, oh my gosh.
And so after that it's over, like he decides to turn a new leaf, and we're talking that the anime, I don't really know how much time passed, but I don't think it passed more than a year. But I think it passed more than 6 months, definitely, during this whole thing.
Okay.
Right? Because what was the name of the girl again?
The daughter?
No, the girl that...
that likes heroes?
Yeah.
Watanabe.
Yeah, Watanabe.
Yeah. Shion Watanabe.
When she sheltered him, she was like, hey, dude, change. Like, and he's like, oh, I've already killed more than 50 people. He's like, okay, then just save as many. And we can see here that,
dude, I almost forgot about that part because it's such a small...
like the life of people, it's not weighted equally, because it's like, okay, he started saving a lot of people, like more than 50.
Yeah.
because he was like, okay, I'm just gonna disappear. And during this period of time, 2 months had passed. He was like, okay, well, also, nobody knew that he was the one saving them. So,
right.
to what the world concerned, he was still like a killer of 50-something victims.
Yeah, he was at large. Yeah, still wanted.
So, what did the police decide to do now? They decide to raid again the house because that worked perfectly the first time.
And I think they were pretty terrible this time around because
they killed them, right? Or like they shot them.
So they shot them. They shot
and he saved them.
He did.
But it's like,
yeah,
oh, dude, like you screwed up even worse than the first time.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I thought that was way terrible of them to do that. And so, like, yeah, this second raid was a little bit worse, but he still kicks their butt.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah.
Yeah, because he not only now has the finger guns, he has the rat-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta.
Yeah.
And the bam, bam, bam. And it's like, how many weapons do you have there?
right. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I wonder if like a rocket launcher would have been like, boom, or something like that.
My.
He didn't try it though, but
no.
But it's like after this failed attempt, he's like, okay, you want war, you're gonna have it.
Yeah.
And he just goes ballistic against the police department and pretty much kills a good portion of the department, except for one.
Oh, right.
Saying like, except okay, you're
gonna be the mouthpiece to like say the police are gonna fall or something in Japan. That was crazy.
Yeah, that part was crazy because like after that, like we see the like a bunch of policemen saying like in a press conference like, oh yeah, he has declared war to Japan. We're not gonna rest, but they were doing crap.
Yeah,
because then he goes even ballistic with the country.
Yeah,
and we're skipping a lot of things.
We are, yeah.
He goes ballistic up to the point that he was able to control cars. Now get this. He's able to control freaking planes.
Yeah.
And not one of them.
Like all the planes in the sky. Yeah. It's insane.
But let's pause this for a second. Let's go back to Mr. Inuyashiki again.
Yes.
Because while all of this crap is happening, he had an encounter on the first house with Shishigami, and he was beaten.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, this guy is terrible. Why is he doing that? Like, I cannot forgive him. It's like, poor people.
Yeah.
So somehow he gets, he gets in contact with Hiro's friend because Hiro's friend is like, help me, please help me.
Yes. Yeah.
And so he arrives
together. He can hear.
So he can hear really good.
Yeah.
And so they start making a friendship. Yeah. He actually helps him a lot develop his powers
and stuff. With like the wall of smashed cars and stuff, flying. Well, he kind of already picked up flying, but like how to use
flying
weapons
better.
Yep. And
the weapon,
the technology,
controlling the cars, and like he became his accomplice in healing people.
Yep.
Like his daughter saw him.
Oh yeah, that's right. And all this time, throughout the anime, pretty much near like from the very beginning, when he found out he can heal, he started healing at random hospitals throughout the city. So like they go and the daughter Mari sees him. Oh my gosh, like Mari,
her delusions are
and she's like she's the popular girl in school, but this other guy, he's like one of the losers at school. Well, he gets like bullied a lot. They are going around, and so these last few parts, they are trying to catch Shishigami. They kind of like piece it together that he'll have to be the one to take down Shishigami.
Yeah. And so like this daughter portion I mentioned because it's important because she knows that what he is or like that,
There's an
that he's doing something.
That's
like
right.
he's healing people. So
That's
she is like, okay, like she starts checking social media. It's like, oh, people are mysteriously healing. And she's like, oh my gosh. So
My dad's a saint.
Yeah. She's still a bit of a jerk.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And
But then
she
like
still keeps to herself too.
When Shishigami goes hyper ballistic with the planes, Mr. Inuyashiki he stops the second wave of planes.
Yeah.
And he has the much fated fight.
Yeah.
Shishigami is like, that is one of the best fights that I've ever watched.
And I also wanted to say that they do use CGI in this anime, but not in a bad way. You can you notice it, but it's not like freaky or off-putting. Well, I mean, it looks weird. I mean,
it looks a bit off-putting,
automated
but
robots
the character design helps that.
Yes.
The characters are a bit off-putting.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess
not exactly the cute animes.
Right. Yeah,
they're like some of the facial expressions are clearly more defined than some other action animes, like Naruto, Jujutsu Kaisen, or My Hero Academia.
Right.
They're like, yeah, we have fights there, but it's like if you compare the drawing style with those to Inuyashiki,
very different.
It's simpler.
Right.
Or it's different. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I would say also like flowing lines. Yeah, and like details versus the motion.
Yeah.
Pretty fascinating.
And so they have their fight because Shishigami is like, why are you stopping me from doing bad things?
Yeah. And they have this like philosophical discussion.
Yeah.
And
yeah, because they confront themselves as like, you are like me.
Like, you are me.
It's like, no, I'm not like you. I feel alive when I save people. And so he's like, well, I feel alive when
I kill people.
Oh, he's like, I just thought that it was weird that it just clicked to him.
Yeah.
In that moment, it's like, oh, I'm the baddie.
Right.
He's like, dude, did you think you were the good guy?
Are we the baddies? Yeah, seriously, like, yeah, I thought that was really, really strange because, like, usually villains, I mean, I don't know, like, villains, do they realize they are villains? Like, when I watched it, I don't think I really understood what he was trying to get at, but yeah, I think it is that idea of everyone is, themselves, but when they start to do certain things, but for certain reasons, and like depending on if you're killing people, then yeah, like you turn into the villain.
Yeah.
Even if you don't realize it. I mean, he was killing people because he felt alive. And that was like the only way that he could like feel alive. For him, it was like the utmost pastime or something.
I guess it's like, oh, I killed a fly. It's like a big deal.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, yeah,
right.
That fly had a family of 4 and a car and a house.
Yeah.
And probably debt. But
yeah,
like it's not like, well, at this point it's like, okay, animal life, insect life, human life is like,
and he,
where do we draw the line? And clearly he didn't draw it.
Well, yeah, and for him, he realizing and knowing that he's a robot, a machine, yeah, he probably didn't think anything of human life
anymore. Yeah,
even though he was living like a human. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, such a weird thought.
Yeah, I mean,
he's still human.
That is one of those things that is like, okay, I want my answer. It's like, no, you were not going to have it. So it's like, ponder about it yourself.
Ponder about it. Yeah, really, really fascinating. Yeah. So they start fighting,
because he starts
pretty
fighting
cool.
and he receives the call from his daughter
that
that she is at a tower and a plane just crashed there and she's asphyxiating because there's a fire.
and she can't escape.
And so he's
all.
just so desperate. He's like, "Oh, I need to go save her." And
Yeah.
this dude is like, "Fight me!"
Right, I
Like,
know,
dude,
right?
leave,
Like,
bro.
you
It's
can't
like-
leave me. Like we have to fight. Oh my gosh, yeah, seriously. So yeah, and it's like a huge time crunch because his daughter is literally dying.
Yeah, I mean, because the
Yeah,
fight
it was
started
intense.
at dusk. At dusk, right? And by the
Yeah.
time they started, it was already nighttime. So I would say that the fight lasted at least a couple hours.
Oh yeah, pretty.
And yeah, the animation itself, because both of them lose consciousness and their little cameras just make things worse.
And their eyes are closed. Oh, it's such a weird battle. It's like, and basically the attacks are these beams of light that are hitting each other. So fascinating. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, and the only way that Mr. Inuyashiki won, or his unconscious self won, was that it came from behind and started disassembling Shishigami.
Like literally tearing off the back of his head, his arms off. Oh, it was crazy.
It's like he just dropped it and he fell into like a river, which water is like the source of energy for these guys. So it's like, yeah, after that, he gained consciousness. He went back to save his daughter. The other guy just fell. He's like,
onto the street. Oh, so funny. Yeah. And then the building sequence. This part was fascinating because he comes in to save his daughter. He sees her on the ground, but she's already gone. Her eyes are glazed over, and it's like that anime art that they're dead, but like how their eyes look.
right.
And then he's like, oh, I can't heal her or whatnot. And so he like calls out her name over and over and over again. It was a long, like
that part was really emotional because it was a flashback of his daughter and him, and it's like, okay, yeah, his family is a jerk, but he clearly is a family guy.
Through and through.
Like, yeah, he sees his daughter like with so much love, and it pains him that because of some teenage guy, he was not able to save her.
Right.
But it's like,
cannot forgive him.
It's like not everything is that bad. Things get a turn for the better. And at this point, the secret's out because they were filming him when he was saving people. Mm-hmm. He managed to save like 20 something. They said.
Through the night.
Yeah.
I can't remember the number.
I think it was like 20 something or so. Okay. Yeah, I mean the family then is like, who are you? And it's like, oh, it's like, I'm not.
I'm nobody special.
He's like, I'm not the guy that you knew. And then
that part.
When he comes back.
When he comes back to his family. Yeah.
And I was like,
that was so fascinating. Because he's like basically confessing.
Yeah. I mean, I thought that part was great. It was packed with emotion, but at the same time, something with me was like, you were being a bunch of jerks a couple episodes ago, and now you're like, oh, I love you, daddy. He's like, I don't want to turn Shishigami, but you guys,
you
guys don't deserve him.
All right. Well, yeah. One of those things.
But it's like, oh, okay. It's like, yeah, you're our dad, and we're gonna start treating you better and like give you the value that you bring to this family now that you're saving people and like we see your worth now and I mean
they accept him basically.
things look like nice. It seems like a happy ending already.
Right.
I mean, except for the kid, because the kid, it's his son. It's kind of like not accepting
Yeah, I did notice that
all
too.
of this robot thing.
Yeah.
I would have expected that more, given how they treated him.
Okay.
Giving a little more like the cold shoulder rather than, oh yeah, no,
Right.
like we're family, and it's like, I mean, the daughter, I can see it because she knew it,
Sure.
and then it's like, okay, she died, and then
right,
like
and then
her dad just
literally
revived her.
Saved her. Yeah.
It's like,
With
okay,
CPR.
it's like I can see you doing
a
that.
little bit of healing, but yeah.
It was like,
True. Yeah, and the son like doesn't really go in for the group hug type of thing. Yeah, it was really, I don't know, like, yeah, it was a little like, what's happening? But then we pan to Shishigami. Oh, this is gnarly. And then all he says is, "Oh, could I have some water to these passerby?" And it's like, "Oh no!" And it's like, "Oh, we have juice." And then it just cuts from that scene. It's like, "Oh crap!"
I don't think he killed him though. It was like,
Oh no, he didn't.
Unless he tried doing the pew pew with his feet.
Oh no! I don't think he killed him either. But it's just that, like, he's back. Like,
I mean, he touched rock bottom after losing his arm and part of his head.
Oh yeah.
Because then he goes back to his friend and he's like,
yeah.
Oh, I have a new manga. And he's like, oh, I want to read it.
Yeah.
And he just have these conversations like, oh, that old man, did you send him? He was really good. He's like, yeah, I lost. He was like, okay. He's like, I just called him. So
he's coming.
They're like, don't try anything funny. Because at this point you think like, oh, okay, yeah, a happy ending now. It's like, it's great.
Right, yeah.
But out of nowhere, a freaking asteroid is coming to hit Earth. It's like,
okay, so I want to be honest here. This was a weird development.
That felt like a Monty Python movie. It's like, oh, how are we gonna end this?
Yeah.
Well, how about an asteroid?
Yeah, it's like, okay, like you had an awesome story, you had an awesome anime, like everything's awesome, and it's kind of a happy ending. But then, yeah, like, oh, the Earth is gonna be destroyed. Oh, what the heck? Oh yeah, so strange.
The funniest part was Donald Trump showing up.
Oh yes, on the TV. That's hilarious.
How he was like,
we did everything in our power. Everybody else, like, suck it.
So like, I don't care. I got to be president of this great land. So suck it, suckers. It's like,
he basically.
I can see Donald Trump doing that. And also the other funny thing is that it was 2017, so. That was during Trump's presidency. So
yeah, like,
I thought that was super funny because, like, wow, they managed to replicate Donald Trump. Like, that's a carbon copy of him.
Yeah. Oh, hilarious. Yeah, it was incredible. And so yeah, they like Earth has like certain amount of time. It's gonna be destroyed. It's going to be a cataclysmic event. They said like 5 times larger than the asteroid from 65 million years ago.
Yeah, it was going to destroy Earth, pretty much.
Basically, yeah, end of the world.
And so he's like, oh, okay. So he just drinks a lot of water, and he gets discovered. He's like, where are you going? He's like, for a walk.
It's like
her there is like, well, I'm coming with you for a walk then. He's like,
I lied.
He's like, okay, no, it's not that type of walk. I'm going to see what I can do. He's like, no, you can do it. Like, you've done enough. And
I'm not sure like why they're like, so like don't go type of thing. Like maybe they just wanted him to spend more time with them, but I don't know, like, did you get that feeling? Like, I got that feeling. It's like it was a little odd that they were like begging him not to go.
Kind of like they kind of knew that he was going to his grave.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
Well, you
but
know what?
they
Now that you mention it, it's like, yeah, because they're like, okay, are you assuming that he's
right
going to die
going to
fighting
die.
the asteroid?
Right. But then it's like, I don't know. He's a freaking machine. Maybe he do it. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I
mean-
didn't get the real reason, but
Yeah.
they were begging him either way to
Yeah.
like not go. He was like, I gotta go, and so he using his like flight ability, he goes, and these robots, they don't need air, so they're fine in outer space. But yeah, he's like,
Like
he's
he
really
reaches the
full of
asteroid, he
water.
starts blasting through it, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, I'm just making craters," but
Yeah.
but nope, nothing.
yeah,
And then Shishigami is there
yeah,
because Shishigami was about to pretty much hand the towel, and he was going to go with Watanabe and just chill somewhere.
yeah,
But he finds him. They talk. It's like, oh, I knew you were here. It's like, oh, I've run some simulations. If I detonate myself, we might be able to change its course.
hmm
And Inuyashiki was like, wait, that seems like a good action. He's like, dude, you bet the crap out of him. You bet he had a change of heart. Plus, it's not like he has any weapons now.
dude. Yeah, like
So
oh
he's
my
like, yeah,
God.
just push my eyes. I will detonate and
Mhm.
everything will be all right. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, oh, well, I also have people that I don't want to die, like Choco, who was his friend, and Watanabe and her
Yeah.
grandma. It's like, okay, so
And
he
does
sacrifices
it.
himself,
Uh,
and it's like he was in a call with Choco.
oh right.
And he's like, oh yeah,
oh
like
yes.
Shishigami, he just sacrificed himself, and he's like,
yeah.
oh,
And so Choco,
it's like, yeah, he managed to save the world.
all right.
like,
on the
oh,
call,
okay,
He
he's
tells him
like-
that. Yeah.
Then you're coming back, right? It's like, yeah, he detonated himself, so yeah, I'm going home. I'll see you there.
Yeah.
But it's like,
It's like okay.
no, you won.
oh
Oh boy,
And
that part was
this-
so. No,
Dude.
I tear up a little bit. I'm tearing
Really?
up a little bit just
Yeah.
remembering because
Oh yeah.
he's like, oh yeah, I'm going home.
Right.
He just
and
boy, oh.
and yeah, he has to push in he has to do his own detonation sequence because he, after running simulations, it didn't change the course
Yeah,
of the
because I
asteroid.
mean,
or at least not enough.
his daughter saw an explosion, and then Choco also saw an explosion, and he was still on the call.
yeah,
But when he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm coming home," he saw the other explosion. He was like,
dude, yeah, oh, yeah. that
then
was
also like
gut-wrenching.
her daughter like broke in tears. Like,
yeah, yeah.
oh boy, yeah.
So yeah,
that was. It was a really good ending, but
It was
oh boy,
good
yeah,
ending.
it was
but
like.
in a really
Couldn't you have given him like
Why
a
not
happy
sure?
ending? Because it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was more like of like, you know, the tragic hero.
It was. He was like a great guy, but then to save everyone, he had to destruct himself, and he didn't really like deserve it either. And it was just a freak of nature that this asteroid was coming to Earth. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh!
I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
like
boy.
he was. Yeah, he didn't. Also, with Shishigami, he was like, he was the villain, but he also like sacrificed himself, which I thought that was pretty fascinating. That they both were trying to.
Yeah, I mean, and at this point, calling
Save
it
it,
like
basically.
heroes and villains
Yeah.
doesn't really sit well. Because as I was saying,
Yeah.
like the only thing that those weapon units made was enhance their personalities.
Yeah,
Because it's like
Right.
Shishigami.
they were
He
themselves.
had people that he
Yeah.
cared about, and he never touched them.
Right. Yeah.
He just didn't care about the rest
Anybody
of the people,
else.
and
Yeah.
that translated into, well, I don't care about you, therefore it doesn't matter if you are alive or dead.
Right. And if I get a kick out of your death, then so be it. I'll kill ya.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
and
like,
Mr. Ishigami was like,
Uh-huh.
oh, I have people that I care about.
yeah.
But
then
like,
I also want to say
yeah, I think that like
strangers. Yeah.
everyone, it's like their life is worth something. So it's like
Yeah.
they shouldn't be ending their lives or having their life to stop, because that's why he started healing people. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, you have a life, so much more to experiment, so I'm gonna heal you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was not really like, oh yeah, he's the hero, he's the villain, because
Right.
it's like, oh, he was bad, he was good.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he was bad.
I mean,
Shishigami was bad.
Sure. But stepping away from that,
But stepping away from
we're
that,
kinda
it's like,
seeing that-
okay, he was looking out for, his hood. 'Cause
right,
he's like,
right.
hey, Choco, I'm protecting you from these bullies. I'm just
Right.
gonna go a little bit over the top,
Yeah.
protecting you by
Yeah.
killing them.
Yeah. And that was pretty surprising. He just
Yeah.
off the bullies. Yeah. In a way, you can say that they were motivated by their own self-interests.
Yeah,
Is that what
yeah,
you were
yeah,
like?
yeah.
getting
That's
at?
what I'm getting to.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, really fascinating. Bad guy or good guy? Yeah, it doesn't really like apply.
But yeah, oh,
Yeah,
but
sure.
it was a great anime, great story.
Yeah.
I don't think I will watch it again until some time has passed, because it's like, yeah,
Sure. Yeah.
it's calm down, because
Yes.
one of those that just keeps the blood pumping into your heart.
It does. It rouses you up. It's oh my gosh.
Oh, but yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was my first time watching through it. In Mari, we see her basically getting published for her manga. That was awesome. Yeah, like
Yeah,
the end.
she did had a change of heart. She
did.
was in a church, then she had this dead experience. It was not near. It was a dead experience.
Yeah, she died.
And then,
Came
like,
back to life.
Yeah, she started like with what she wanted to do.
Yeah. Overall, liked it. Go watch the anime.
So yeah, this was this for this week. Hope you liked it, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye bye.